Hello, Muster0063 here to start off another new project, and this time it's going to be I Want to Be the Citadel. This was by far and away my favourite game of YoSniper's second Fangame Contest, so there's a little, I hesitate to say filler game, but I guess that's kind of a little bit what it is before I get round to doing Megaman 8, but yeah, I kind of figure that this is probably going to be the remaining two projects I have left this year. I'm not quite ready to start my Megaman 8 Let's Play Perfect Run series, but yeah, this would kind of be, for want of a better phrase, a kind of a filler game. But it's an absolutely fabulous game, and I'm delighted to be kind of doing this Let's Play of it. A couple of things I wanted to kind of just briefly say before I kind of get too much into the game is that, well, this game, was part of the Fangame Contest, and I was lucky enough to be a judge during that contest, so that was a really great experience. And I also need to pay huge thanks to YoSniper, well, first for including me in the contest as a judge, but secondly for giving me kind of a bit of a shout out in one of his the first video that he did for his for the judging and whatnot. Now, the backstory behind that was that there was one game in the contest that was a bit stuffed up people's computers in the sense that you couldn't really play the game more than once. It kind of crashed and whatnot if you tried to load up the game. Fortunately, I seem to be one of the few judges in the position where I could actually open up the game and play it for a second time, so I recorded some footage, and that was what was used in the results videos, and I got a little bit of a shout out for that. Now, I gained 11 subscribers over the course of August 2015, and while that might not seem a lot, admittedly probably it isn't, on the scale of my channel that is a huge frigging deal. I've always expected to have a small channel on YouTube. I've been here on here for about 3 years or so, and between I think August 2012 and August 2015, I had amassed 41 subscribers. So not a lot. I love each and every one of you who has subscribed, but on the grand scale of YouTube channels, not a lot. So on average, about 1 or 2 per month. And then all of a sudden, over the course of August, so up to to the beginning of September, my subscribers went up by 11, from 41 to 52. Now, I didn't do anything specifically new on my channel. I believe I started my Let's Play of I Want to Be Myself, which, great game that it is, admittedly. It wasn't anything really new or exciting, on my channel, so I can't say I was drawing in a whole new crowd or anything. If it was something like the Uncle Roundy's Trip Adventure Let's Play or Shovel Knight that I did, then the only two games I believe I've covered that aren't I Want to Be or Megaman related, then I could maybe understand it. But since there was nothing that I'd done that really could account for this spike in subscribers, the only real logical conclusion I can come to is that getting that shout out ultimately bumped up my subscribers by over 25%. So all I can do is really thank YoSniper once again for that shout out, and also for including me as a judge in the contest. I was really pleased with how it all kind of turned out. I think the contest was a really good success, and I hope you were pleased with how it turned out as well. Secondly, actually, I'm gonna before I do one other thing, I was gonna just briefly go to. No, I'm not going to do that. That's not what I wanted to do at all. There, I wanted to go to the options menu. Yeah, just to kind of show off here. So what you can tell, there's a language option, there's a stage effect option, and a death music option. We'll keep that on English and keep the ones on, and a key configuration. So I'll just leave that up there for a little bit, so you can just kind of see what my key my key controls are. The other thing I just want to briefly say was kind of in terms of upload schedule. As I mentioned before, I reckon, and indeed at the end of my I Want to Be Myself Let's Play, I reckon that this game and Mega Man 8 are probably going to be the only things I'm going to be able to upload time-wise in the remainder of this year. So, but given the fact I know exactly how many Mega Man 8 videos there are going to be, I figure that this Let's Play needs to be, for me to not have like a huge gap of time on YouTube where I don't upload anything, and to have a kind of a reasonably constant steady supply of videos, at least 2 a week, this Let's Play needs to be at least 8 parts. So if I actually go back to a title and now go back to this, which I already kind of spoiled a little bit earlier, you can kind of see there the run I had when I was kind of going through this for the contest only took me less than 3 hours. So at the rate of about 20 minutes per video, this would kind of work out quite nicely. However, what I'm actually probably going to do is try and keep this Let's Play to 1 video per world. So it's a little bit of a kind of spoiler alert. There are indeed. It will become very, very obvious when you kind of start off. I guess when you kind of get into the game a bit, that there are kind of 7 main worlds, and then there's one kind of final world after that. Although I say that, there's also something that I kind of need to address as well. So I'm going to just kind of cut the video a little bit here and actually just go to the options menu for the game. So, or sorry, the folder for the game. So hang on just a sec for that. So this is just something I wanted to kind of show off because, well, this is the music file for the game. But one thing in particular I wanted to show off. I mean, unfortunately, I'm kind of spoiling a little bit on how much, how many stages there are and whatnot. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, there are 7 stages and a final stage. So I know that's bosses, but yeah, scroll down further, there'll be like stage 1 to 7, blah, 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 blah. And indeed, there are the bosses and the final boss and the final stage. Lots of final stages actually. Then there's these that I have not been able to find. So, is this in the game? At the moment? Is it something that was kind of be there in a future version, and that's not released in this version? But is there a hidden area somewhere in somewhere in the game? I must admit, I've not found it. I've even gone through the game a second time using God mode, which was obviously helpfully as an option for those involved in judging the contest. To go through the entire game again, just kind of rubbing up against every single wall, walking in spikes, whatnot, trying to find this, having looked at this, trying to find this hidden stage. I couldn't find it for the life of me. So, is this in the game? Does anyone know where this is? Would anyone like to tell me where it is? If you don't want to tell me exactly where it is, at least which stage it's in, or if there's something specific I need to do in order to access it. I've no idea. So, when I'm kind of going through this game at the moment, I can't even call it myself 100% kind of work through that will go through the game, because I must admit I do not know where this hidden stage is. If someone does know where it is, or if it isn't in the game and someone's happy enough to tell me, then by all means leave a comment to that nature, and yeah, I will show that off, and I may in fact show that off blind, because I say I had absolutely no idea where this so-called hidden stage or boss is in the game. Okay, so with that all out of the way, let's actually make a start on the game itself. So here you can see the save load screen. So 2 options here. I'm not going to play the game on chaos mode. No, absolutely not. So we've got light and regular, and yeah, I'd consider well, based on the fact that I'd already played through the game on regular, light's going to be probably too easy. So we're just going to do it on regular, and yeah, let's kind of get going. Let's read this first of all. But welcome to I Want to Be the Citadel. First, let's learn simple things. Use arrow keys to move, shift to jump, Z to shoot. You can change this at key configuration. So there are going to be a few of these little things to read first off, but we'll just probably get to the next one before we do too much else. So actually, I can't read that, so never mind. Based on the very kind of first I guess I should have shown that off anyway. I actually wasn't trying to show that off. I messed up by the manoeuvre I was trying to do there, but yeah. I must admit my kind of expectations weren't kind of all that high based on just this kind of these kind of first little areas, particularly when it came to this. Here you move 3 pixels every frame. You can't move slower even when you have to. That's why people come up with aligns. You can get an align and do the delicate moves by touching the wall. You can see the colour wall. Walls with same colour will give you same align. Try and get an align that makes you get close to the spike as possible. That's what aligns are for. And then, you thought this was about align? Too bad. This is about misogyny. I hate marriage. This is misogyny. Sorry. So, yeah. Fortunately, this was a screen that had me kind of having kittens about thinking, oh god, is it going to be one of these games where things are just going to be annoying beyond belief and whatnot? But thankfully, once you get past this bit, it really isn't so bad. Unfortunately, this first spike, this first little maneuver, as you can kind of see, is just a little bit of a pain. I don't know if there actually is some trick to getting the line here, or whether I'm just horribly screwing it up. But there we go. Yeah. I'm very pleased to say that, obviously having played through the game, that there is not really anything else maybe apart from a couple of really specific situations, but even if there are, I didn't necessarily notice that it was pixel alignment. There's nothing like that else in the game. But yeah, based on just that opening set of screens, I did not have the highest of expectations for this game. But I'm pleased to say that my expectations were far exceeded based on the rest of the game. So yeah, let's continue, and we might as well go to World 1 and start things off. And I was kind of expecting, restart that, I was kind of expecting the screen to show the stage number at the bottom there, but it seems to be coming up with a white block for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. If that continues, I might kind of turn that option off in the game, but maybe we'll kind of see what happens when we get to the next screen and see whether that's still there. Because as I say, if there's no point in keeping that on there if it's just going to be silly like that. See, that's what I was expecting. The bottom right hand corner there, it's just, yeah, bottom left corner there as well, you can clearly see stage 1.2, 1.111, and that's what I was kind of expecting. But yeah, not the stupid solid white block. But yeah, I guess we'll just kind of have to see how that kind of goes in the remainder of the game. I don't know if it's actually, for some reason, that the first time you enter a screen it works, but after that it comes up with the hideous block. I don't know if that's the case, why it's doing that, but oh well. Anyway, I should probably talk about stage 1. It's your standard kind of pretty easy stage to kick off a game, which is nice. You don't want to, with any of these kind of fan games, you don't really want to kind of start off with something that's obnoxiously difficult. This stage, as you might have perhaps already twigged, is kind of dedicated to delicious fruit, and yeah, it's well, pretty straightforward. Which is kind of nice for a first stage. The music's also very nice and kind of jolly. One thing I automatically kind of was my expectations were kind of on the up immediately is the fact that this wall jump works wonderfully well. So that was well, that was dumb, but yeah, this wall jumping works exceedingly well right off the bat. So that immediately had me kind of thinking, okay, this is looking promising. I've done the exact same thing again by not appreciating that bloody piece of fruit was going to not go down to the floor. Whoops. Yep, I've done it again. Right, there we are. Fine. Let's see if we can get through this and we won't have to worry about that bit again. Oh boy, that's terrible. Anyway. Yeah. Whoa, that's going to go down, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Come on, let's just get through this. Good, right. Yeah, I really do like this this game. I'll talk about all the various kind of stages as we kind of go through them, but it's simple enough stuff without being, without being really kind of frustratingly difficult. Everything kind of works really well. All the controls kind of work nicely. I had to get out of there pretty quick, as you kind of saw those fruit came down from round about here to block off that path. So once I've gone up and triggered the troll block, I had to go get out of there pretty quickly. I also had to do that because otherwise the fruit blocked my path up at the top as well. Whoops. But yeah, everything kind of works really nicely. It's not difficult. You have it's just a lot of fun. All the mechanics are kind of work well and are interesting. There's not really a lot to dislike about the game, provided you're kind of up for a sort this bit out, kind of up for a challenge. Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. Not really sure I can say too much else. There's too much else to say other than that. We're already at the boss. It's a big piece of delicious fruit. It's your first boss. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't have much health. 20 hit points, as you can kind of see here. I screwed that up horribly. I was kind of hoping for a first goer, but oh well, never mind. And now I've really screwed myself up by going down in this corner, which I shouldn't have gone anywhere near, frankly. And I'm not going to get as many hits in as I did last time. But yeah, it's your typical kind of first boss. It's nothing really to write home about. he has a few different... Wow, I'm playing badly. He has a few different fruit patterns, as you can kind of see here. So some come down from the ceiling, some kind of arc, some kind of home in and whatnot. So you know, he doesn't have many different attacks, and they're all pretty reasonably straightforward to dodge when I'm not being a complete idiot. As you can see, when you get him down to halfway, he then stops being a giant piece of fruit and changes into, or splits into 10 pieces of smaller fruit that fly around the screen. So you can actually beat that kind of first phase, if you will, in two waves, which is rather nice. And for these other pieces of fruit, when you shoot them, they then split apart into a smaller piece of fruit again. So you want to make sure that when you shoot them, you are quite a bit of distance away from where they're going to be. The tricky bit, which I screwed up there, can be that the fruit, particularly when you're down the bottom trying to get away from things, is that they do bounce at somewhat kind of awkward angles, or angles that you might not necessarily expect. So that can be a little bit tricky, but yeah, I guess a tip would probably be to try and play a bit safe. Maybe don't go down to the bottom, or at least try and shoot them when you're down at the bottom. But oh well, I'm screwed here because I just stayed in the corner where the fruit were going to come and get me, which isn't good at all. But yeah, I love how kind of I'm saying this boss is pretty easy, and I am making an absolute ginormous mess of things. And I'm now not going to kill it in 2 waves because I'm probably unlikely to get 5. I'm almost absolutely certainly not going to get 5 hits in this time, maybe 4. But yeah, I didn't get the 10th hit in, so we're going to have to do another wave of this. Fortunately, he's done a move that wasn't too difficult to avoid, but still. And here we have again the fruit coming down here, bouncing at awkward patterns. So I want to be able to get out, and I want to be able to shoot these things from a long distance. They also do seem to speed up, and that was kind of dickish, wasn't it? Again with the kind of weird bouncing, but yeah. It's still not that bad, despite how bad of a job I am doing at the moment. At least this part might go on for a little bit longer than I thought it would otherwise do. Oh, what am I doing? This is probably, the blue one is the easiest one of the lot to avoid. The ones that come all the ones that come vertically down, and that's very, very nice of you. So the ones that come vertically down are a lot harder to identify where they are going to be positioned, whereas the other ones kind of arc home and all sorts. So yeah, they can be a bit more tricky to work out where they're going to go. I think I'm stuffed again. Well, I got a fortunate bounce there. Okay, good. Taken out a few more. This one really probably should be the go because there aren't that many left on screen. And I can now hopefully take a lot of them out from a distance. Yeah, we should be good this go. If I screw this up from this go, I've done something pretty bad, although I took that out at the worst possible point in time. Right, goody. Holy hell, that took way, way longer than I hope it would do. But yeah, okay, fine. 22 deaths, 9 minutes, not so bad, I guess. And yeah, like I was kind of saying, I'll try and leave this for 1 world per video, so I guess we'll kind of leave it there. It's a bit of a long intro, so not much gameplay, unfortunately, but yeah, I will leave it there, and we will pick up with World 2 next time. So, hope to see you for that. And until then, cheerio.